the Tang Dynasty, and the Golden Age of culture. The story of the Tang Dynasty begins in 618 CE, rising like a phoenix from the ashes of the chaotic Sui dynasty. China was ready for a new era, and the Tang was about to deliver, with flair, power, and a cultural brilliance that would echo for centuries. If the Han and the Three Kingdoms were the restless childhood and turbulent teenage years of China, the Tang Dynasty was the confident, radiant adulthood, bold, creative, and downright dazzling. Under the rule of emperors like Han Taizong and Xuanzong, the empire expanded its borders farther than ever before. From the steppes of Central Asia to the lush lands of Vietnam, Tang China was a force to be reckoned with. But it wasn't just about swords and horses. It was about ideas, art, and culture exploding in ways the world had never seen. The Tang capital, Chang'an, was the largest city in the world at the time. A bustling metropolis filled with traders, scholars, monks, and artists from all corners of Asia and beyond. Imagine a place where Persian merchants rubbed shoulders with Japanese monks, where exotic spices scented the air, and languages mingled like colors on a painter's palette. Trade flourished thanks to the High Silk Road, connecting China to the Middle East, India, and even Europe. Silk, tea, porcelain. These weren't just products. They were symbols of cultural exchange and prestige. The world was curious about China, and China was eager to learn from the world. One of the most dazzling jewels of the Tang was its poetry. Poets like Wu Li Bai Ku and Tao Ba Dufuwai wrote verses that are still celebrated today. Li Bai, the immortal poet, was known for his free spirit and love of wine. His poems are like lyrical flights of fancy, full of nature, friendship, and the thrill of life. Du Fu, by contrast, was the somber voice of reality. His verses often reflected the suffering caused by war and social unrest, making his poetry deeply human and moving. But culture wasn't limited to poetry. Tang painters perfected landscape art, capturing the beauty of mountains, rivers, and clouds with brushstrokes that seemed to breathe life. Music and dance thrived at the imperial court, with influences from Central Asia and India, enriching traditional Chinese styles. Buddhism, which had been growing quietly for centuries, blossomed during the Tang. Monasteries became centers of learning and art. Some emperors were patrons of Buddhism, helping it flourish alongside Taoism and Confucianism. The famous Buddhist caves of Dunhuang were carved and decorated during this period, creating an artistic legacy that still amazes visitors today. Yet not everything was perfect in paradise. The mid-Tang period saw the Aleutian Rebellion, a devastating civil war that shook the empire to its core. This rebellion showed the fragility beneath the golden surface, and after it was crushed, the Tang never quite regained its former glory. Despite these troubles, the Tang Dynasty's cultural achievements left an indelible mark. It set the standard for art, literature, governance, and international relations for centuries to come. The idea of a Mo'oso Golden Age isn't just about wealth or power. It's about a civilization at its creative peak, open to the world, and confident in its identity. The Tang Dynasty was exactly that. A time when China was not only a kingdom of warriors and rulers, but a beacon of culture and innovation. So when you think about the Tang, don't just picture grand palaces and emperors. Think of vibrant streets filled with poets, merchants, monks, and artists, all contributing to one of the most extraordinary chapters in human history. In the end, the Tang Dynasty reminds us that great empires don't just conquer land. They conquer the hearts and minds of people through culture, art, and ideas that transcend time.